Hello everyone! So finally I have decided to make another episode for this series where I commentate over the world record runs on Stunt campaign maps. It took so long because I was waiting for the cheated records to be removed from the leaderboards, and it happened quite recently, so now this run that you have just seen is currently placed on the first spot in the leaderboards in-game. It can be now legally considered a world record. Let's see how it starts. So at the start here, you just wanna take a little bit of speed and go for the first stunt as soon as you can. The first stunt is going to be an alley-oop or an aerial. Here it was an alley-oop. Also, very important thing, it has to be a master. So I think I explained it in one of the previous videos, but to get a master jump, you need to have a full rotation on your jump. So 360, 720, 540. It will always be displayed as a full rotation, but if it is not actually a full rotation, it just gets rounded to the closest multiple of 180. And if you get nearly perfectly a multiple of 180, then it is a full rotation. And that's the first condition to get a master jump. And the second condition is that throughout the whole jump, you need to hold the same input. So here, on the whole flight, I'm holding the acceleration and the right turn. And yeah, once we land the first jump, which will be the alley-oop or the aerial, then the second one must be the one that we have not made yet. Because if you repeat the same stunt, you get less points. So if the first one was an alley-oop, the second one must be an aerial. So here, again, we hold the same inputs and we land in a master because we had a full rotation. On this map, it's actually pretty easy to get this full rotation. It's the speed just works. It's very, very consistent. And another thing that's probably important, what's the difference between an alley-oop and an aerial? So for an aerial, you have to rotate in the same direction that you fly. And for alley-oop, you rotate the opposite direction that you fly into. So it might be hard to see on this first jump because you land almost in the same spot that you start your jump. So it's hard to say if you are flying to the right or to the left. Yeah, now knowing that the first jump was an alley-oop, now I know that for the second jump, I have to rotate to the same direction that I'm flying into. So here, I already start turning left, so I know that I will be flying to the left, and I keep holding left, because I want to rotate left as well. And if I landed a bit more to the left than the point where I started the jump, then it will be an aerial. And yeah. At this point, we have made the first two jumps. Both of them have to be a master, and they can't be the same jump. And if you do that properly, you will have probably between 250 and 270 points. It depends on how much airtime you had. So sometimes you jump a little higher, sometimes you jump a little lower. And yeah, that's how it varies. You get few points less or few points more for each of these jumps, but it's not something you should really care about, because if you actually go for the highest airtime, that means the highest points, you probably will not have enough time to land the last jump, so it's not really beneficial to go for these few extra points. Yeah, and now we have to keep a pretty decent speed for the last jump. And here we're gonna jump from the side of the ramp. It's important to take off from pretty closest point to where it becomes just a straight wall. So you want to jump as high as possible, but not where the ramp actually becomes flat. So yeah, here is more or less the line. That's like the limit. If you would jump a bit higher, then you will probably fail it. Okay, maybe I will show the stunt first. So here what you wanna do is a spinning chaos. And yeah, it's hard to go into technical details on how a spinning chaos looks like, how it is made, but it's easier to just show. And now, the most important thing, you want to get one extra stunt here. So there are several things you can land on. You can land on this big rocket, you can land on the sign, you can land on the edge of the finish platform. You can land on the other side on the ramps, but that one is pretty hard. You wanna land on one of these to get another stunt that you can land on the bottom on the island. So here you can see I had a straight spinning chaos, so it was not perfect. That's probably the stunt that's most improbable in this run, because if you get it master, you would get much more points. And yeah, it is just a straight jump, because at this point I started releasing. Because if I didn't release, I knew that I would probably overjump any of the scenery blocks that I can land on. So yeah, that was pretty necessary to get this extra jump. And yeah, of course, getting full rotation, so the tail of the car is kinda aligned with the front of the car, so it's in a straight line. And yeah, landing here, I'm just, at this point you just pray to get lucky. You can get all sorts of different stunts here. Here I was just holding forward, hoping to just get a good master jump. And what I got was a master freestyle 360, very high scoring, almost 180 points. That's really a lot for this bonus jump. It is sometimes possible to get like 540 jumps here, but you really have no control over that. You just have to get lucky. And yeah, by the time you land here, your timer will probably almost run out. And here is a very crucial thing. Yeah, once your time has ended, this is the moment you want to respawn. Also, another important thing, this only works when you are playing in official mode, because official mode lets you respawn to the start line. So you don't need any checkpoints to respawn. You can get back to the start line, but it only works in official mode. So you have to pay in coppers for each of your attempts. Currently, I think it's just 1 copper because the cost was lowered recently. If you don't wait for the timer to run out, you will get a respawn penalty of minus 50 points. And if you respawn after the timer run out, you don't get this penalty. You only get the time penalty, so you lose 1 point for each 10th of a second that you finish after the timer run out. So here minus 50, so I finished 5 seconds after the timer ran out. The most crucial part of this run is the spinning chaos. It just makes your whole run. You just have to get lucky here. If you manage to land your spinning chaos back onto this ramp and you land back into the finish line, you can save quite a bit of points because you don't lose them when respawning back to start and driving all the way to the finish. And yeah, I think I went quite deep into the details, even though it's a fairly simple map. I hope you enjoyed the explanation. The next episodes will come sometime soon, hopefully. Thanks for watching and see ya! Have a nice day. Goodbye.